Hi friends, it's time to discuss about Michelson-Morley experiment. This experiment is actually used to find the necessity of medium for the propagation of light wave. A material medium is necessary for the propagation of light wave. So here we have a source, a convex lens, a semi-silvered glass plate which is inclined at 45 degree with the incident ray, and another glass plate, plain glass plate, which is made up of same material as that of semi-silvered glass plate and also inclined at the same angle 45 degree, and the thickness of plain glass plate and the semi-silvered glass plate are same. Here we have a mirror M1 and a mirror M2, and this one is telescope. Now the source is placed at the focus of convex lens, so when the light ray comes from the source, it becomes parallel after refraction from the convex lens. So these are parallel rays. These rays falls on the semi-silvered glass plate. Since the glass plate is semi-silvered and inclined at 45 degree, so the light ray are partially reflected and partially refracted. The refracted ray move towards the plain glass plate, and after refraction from the plain glass plate, it incident on the mirror M2. This light ray reflected back by the mirror M2 and enters into the telescope. And another ray, which was reflected from the semi-silvered glass plate, shown by green color, moved towards the mirror M1, and after reflection from the mirror M1, it enters into the telescope. So in this way, we get two rays, one is shown by red color and another one by white color, and both rays move towards telescope, and after superposition, they produce the interference pattern. If there is no plain glass plate, then what will happen? Light ray, which is refracted by the semi-silvered glass plate, move in this direction, and after reflection from the mirror M2 goes into the telescope. So in this way, this light ray is totally in air, whereas the reflected ray showing here move two times the semi-silvered glass plate. One during this part and another one during this part. And hence there is a path difference between the two rays. So to eliminate this path difference, we placed another glass plate, plain glass plate, which have the same thickness as semi-silvered glass plate and also made up of same material. Or to compensate the path difference between the two rays, we placed plain glass plate. These are the points. Now, in Michelson-Morley experiment, this is our experimental arrangement. Here we are not showing the plain glass plate due to complexity of figure. This is our incident beam. Now, the whole instrument is moving with velocity v. So mirror M1 move in this direction. So the reflected ray, which was earlier move in this direction, cannot be reflected from here because the position of mirror is shifted from here to here. So the path of light ray will be in this direction. This light ray is reflected from here, and during this time the semi-silvered glass plate also move in this path. So this will be the path of the light ray. Telescope goes here to here. This point is represented by A dash. So the path of a reflected ray is P A dash, P dash, and P dash to T. Mirror M2 also shifted here to here. This is a refracted ray. This ray is reflected by the mirror M2 and enters into the telescope. The new position of B is B dash and the new position of A is A dash. A and B are the previous position of mirror M1 and M2. So this is our whole Michelson-Morley experiment. Now this is our Michelson-Morley. C is the velocity of light. V is the velocity of Earth or apparatus. P, A and PB means the distance of mirror M1 and M2 from point P is L. T1 is the time taken by beam from P to A dash and A dash to P dash. So P to A dash and A dash to P dash is T1. T2 is the time taken by beam from P to B dash and B dash to P dash. P to B dash and B dash to P dash. Now calculation of time T1. To determine the time T1, we draw a perpendicular from A dash on PP dash. So this perpendicular is A dash O. Now in triangle P A dash O, P A dash O, P A dash square is equal to P O square plus O A dash square. Now instrument is moving with velocity v. So A dash means PO will be V into T. Light ray is moving with velocity c. So in time t, it will travel a distance PA dash equals to c into t, and PA or OA dash is equal to L. So PA dash is equal to c into t, AA dash equals to VT, and OA dash equals to L. We substituted all these three values from here to here. So c square t square equals to v square t square plus L square, or t square into c square minus v square equals to L square. And by solving this equation, we get T equals to L upon root of C square minus V square. This is the time taken by beam in moving from P to A dash. The same time is taken by the beam in moving from A dash to P dash. It means T1 is equal to twice of T, equals to 2L upon root of C square minus V square. Now, if we take C square common from here, then outside this square root, it will be 2L by C. So 2L upon C, 1 minus V square by C square power minus half. And on applying binomial expansion, this will be 2L by C, 1 plus V square by twice C square plus and so on. But V is very much less than C, so we neglect higher order term. So T1 is equal to 2L by C, 1 plus V square by twice C square. Now calculation of T2. Time taken by light beam in moving from P to P dash and B dash to P dash. The relative velocity of light along PP dash is equal to C minus V, because instrument and light both are moving in same direction. So the relative velocity of light along PP dash will be C minus V. And the relative velocity of light along P dash B dash is equal to C plus V, because both are moving in opposite direction. So the time T2 is equal to L upon C minus V plus L upon C plus V. L upon C minus V is the time taken by beam in moving from P to B dash, and L upon C plus V is the time taken by beam in moving from B dash to P dash. So this will be twice LC upon C square minus V square. If we take C square common from here, then 2LC upon C square into 1 minus V square by C square, and C will be cancelled out. So this will be 2L upon C, 1 minus V square by C square, or 2L by C, 1 minus V square by C square power negative 1, and on applying binomial expansion, this will be 2L upon C, 1 plus V square by C square plus and so on. V is very much less than C, so we neglect higher order term. So T2 is equal to 2L by C, 1 plus V square by C square. Now the fringe shift. Time difference between a reflected and refracted rays is delta T equals to T2 minus T1. T1 is equal to 2L by C, 1 plus V square by twice C square. T2 equals to 2L upon C, 1 plus V square upon C square. So delta T is equal to T2 minus T1 is equal to 2L upon C, 1 plus V square by C square minus 1 minus half V square by C square. So 1 and 1 will be cancelled out, and V square by C square minus half V square by C square will be half V square by C square. So delta T equals to 2L upon C, V square by twice C square. 2 and 2 will be cancelled out, and this C and C square will be C cube. So delta T is equal to LV square upon C cube. Now if the apparatus is turned by 90 degrees, then the role of reflected and refracted rays are interchanged. So the time difference will be delta T dash is equal to minus L V square upon C cube. So total time difference is delta t minus delta t dash is equal to twice LV square upon C cube. Now path difference will be velocity into time difference. So path difference is equal to C into total time difference is equal to twice LV square upon C cube into 1 upon C. So this will be twice LV square upon C square. Now number of fringes passing through a reference mark delta n is equal to path difference upon wavelength of light. Since path difference is twice LV square upon C square, so delta n is equal to 2LV square upon C square lambda. Michelson-Morley used L equals to 11 meter, wavelength of light 6000 angstrom, and velocity of apparatus 30 km per second. So if we substitute all these three values in this equation, then number of fringes passing through a reference mark will be 0.37. The fringe shift of this amount can be easily detected by the apparatus. It should be possible to measure the fringe shift. By using this delta n, we can find the velocity of Earth relative to ether. But Michelson-Morley could not detect any fringe shift. So result of this experiment, the relative velocity between the Earth and the medium, that is ether, is 0 or v equals to 0. Now for this type of more interactive session, please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks a lot.